Hello and welcome to another session of the Fidelity Builder Services Escrow Certification course. My name is Don Keller and I'm the Vice President of Builder Services for Northern California, and I will be discussing escrow services today. Working with builders is unique compared to our traditional escrow transactions with resale or commercial clients. Builders can give you a project at many different stages throughout the entitlement process, from acquisitions, final map, DRE processing, or straight to sale outs. In this module, we will discuss having a clear understanding where we are at in that process and how to get our title department, mapping department, DRE department, and escrow teams all in sync. This helps navigate and expedite that process internally. It's the key to our success going forward. Let's take a 30,000-foot view of the overall process. After our initial meeting with the client and before opening escrow, we need a copy of the PSA, the Purchase and Sale Agreement. The PSA outlines the terms of the land acquisition escrow, which includes many timelines throughout the feasibility process for the purpose of passing through any monies, broker commissions, including any milestones or entitlements written in the PSA. They may include many different types of entitlements, such as completed improvements, recorded final maps, DRE processing, appraisals, easements, studies, etc. During this entire process, our title department is working directly with the escrow officer and sometimes the underwriter, along with the buyer, seller, and lender, to clean up or remove any clouds on title. Keep in mind, when you're working with developers or home builders, they're always looking into the post-closing after our policy is issued. How will these exceptions in the preliminary title report affect the future home buyers with the Department of Real Estate or their lender? This will be covered in more detail in another section. Throughout the entire escrow acquisition process, and each one is entirely different, our subdivision department has been engaged to coordinate the mapping and/or DRE process, if applicable, before any close of escrow. What is an entitlement? An entitlement, well, it's the legal process of obtaining approvals for a development. The process can be lengthy and complicated, and at times very expensive, but it's a vital part of the development overall process in each jurisdiction. Simply put, entitlements are a legal agreement between the developer and governing municipality for certain building types or for development. Entitlements can come in many different forms, including rezoning, zoning variances, use permits, utility approvals, road approvals, landscaping, development agreements, just to name a few. Some of these entitlements may be included in the PSA, which will need to be completed or signed off before the close of escrow. Let's talk mapping and DRE and determining if we need it. Sometimes a developer has already purchased a project that has a recorded map, or the DRE has already been completed, or the white report has been issued. We make that determination of where exactly they are at in the process, and we coordinate with our subdivision department accordingly, as mentioned in the previous section. Sometimes they are tied to a PSA, and if so, we will communicate so that all the departments are working together to reach the goal of recording the final map, getting the white report issued from the Department of Real Estate for the purpose of closing escrows and issuing title policies. To give you an example, here's a copy of the subdivision development process timeline that shows you on the top line the steps that need to go through to get the DRE white report issued, and the bottom section is to get the final map recorded. Hopefully both those two come together at the end, where we record the final map, CC&Rs, and maybe some SB 800 documents, and then update our preliminary title report, and they issue the final white report so that we can begin closing those escrows, and you can all make money. CC&Rs. Unlike residential transactions where CC&Rs have already been recorded or in place for many years, CC&Rs during the closing of new home escrows can be amended, rescinded, or annexed into another phase at any time during your escrow closings. HOAs. Builder, developer, declarant may still be controlling or managing the HOA until they reach a certain number of closings. At that time, they transfer the ownership rights to the HOA. And once the HOA takes title to the subdivision, the HOA board now controls all the governing documents, including payments and maintenances of all common areas. And they sometimes can be difficult to get payoff information to close your escrows. Senate Bill SB 800. What is that? Well, it's a construction defect law that was passed in 2002. It's also known as the Fix-It Bill. What does it do? Basically, it protects and gives the builder a 10-year window to work directly with any home buyers on a defect claim so that they have the first right to fix or repair their home or property. The purpose of this is to avoid a class action lawsuit with a group of homeowners that are formed to sue the builder over warranty issues over a 10-year period. Melrose. Basically, it's a tax. It allows local governments to create a special tax district, otherwise known as a CFD, with 2/3 of approval from the voters through a bond that needs to get repaid over time. Some examples included are streets, sewer systems, and other basic infrastructure, as well as police, fire protection, levees, ambulance service, schools, parks, libraries, museums, and other cultural facilities could all be a Melrose. Pre-approved documents. The Department of Real Estate issues a basic conveyance document known as a sample grant deed and/or escrow instructions. They describe what the purchasers will receive and under what circumstances. The intent is to verify that the grant deed or escrow instructions that are used to convey the subdivision interest is prepared exactly as approved by the Department of Real Estate. It includes items such as reservations, water, mineral, oil, gas, access, easement, CC&Rs, and any other project restrictions to protect the buyer. Common area grant deeds. Well, they'll also be recorded per phase at the first, normally they're recorded per phase at the first sale out to the HOA. Why is this important? Because the HOA dues that are being collected start at the first sale of that phase, meaning whoever owns the property at that time will be assessed the HOA monthly payments. An example, if the phase is 10 lots and we close 3 escrows, the developer is still paying those monthly assessments to the HOA on those seven remaining lots each month that they own until that phase is sold out. That's why a lot of times you'll see multiple closing in that phase in the same month, where the builder will try to get as many sales as they can to close. This will be discussed in more detail in the DRE section. Escrow instructions. Escrow instructions are also pre-approved by the DRE. Basic conditions include what the buyer and seller must satisfy before funds are released from the impound, including safeguards gathering a return of funds to non-defaulting buyers with a reasonable amount of time if the escrows are not closed. Why are they required? Escrow is a mechanism that protects both the buyers and the sellers. The DRE reviews the escrow instructions to ensure that there are no potentially harmful provisions that may impact a buyer or seller regarding funds. Prorated taxes. After the close of escrow, the buyer will often receive a supplemental tax bill. Why prorate taxes? Well, to make up the difference in a lower tax amount that the seller was paying and the new higher amount that the new owner will be paying. NHDs. NHD is a report required to inform buyers about any potential risks associated with the property, including hazards like flooding, fire insurance, earthquakes, earthquake zones, seismic, and more. Pre-signed grant deeds. This is a common practice in new home escrows where the division president or authorized signer for the home builder is not always available at the end of each month to sign a grant deed before recording. Many times we send over a block of sample grant deeds for the escrows that will be recording that month. Why? So we can get them signed ahead of time and there's not a potential fire drill or last minute search for somebody who has the authority or capacity to sign on behalf of the home builder. Builders don't like delays, and in this market, every sale is important. Deposits and options. Buyers and sellers put up a percentage of a deposit when buying a new home. Usually this goes towards the credit on options or on a deposit for a certain lot. It will be applied to the purchase price at closing. Project addresses and community tracking spreadsheets. Once the final map has been recorded and the assessor's office and tax collectors issue a new APN number and addresses for each community, this is very helpful for opening our orders and tracking with our title department and internally. It's also used on the tracking sheet with the escrow coordinator or sales team so that we're all on the same page preparing all of our documents. Each builder is unique in the way that they communicate their closings for the month. This is usually done by an internal spreadsheet that includes updated information about the status of the buyer, the lender, deposits, documents, appraisals, closing dates, monies received, usually with the escrow coordinator working for the builder. There are usually multiple contacts associated with each closing that would like to receive this distribution information. Each builder is different. Smaller builders only have a few contacts that need this post-closing information, where the larger builders could have 5 or more contacts involved. Our new home escrow teams do a great job coordinating this effort and so much more on a daily basis. My kudos go out to all of you each and every day. We could not do them without you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this section of their Northern California Builder Services Escrow Certification course. Again, my name is Don Keller, and I'm available for any meetings or questions you might have. Thank you.